Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us once again. This is the African Composers Interviews program, and we have another African composer with us today. She's from South Africa, but she is currently in England. Thank you to anybody who will watch us live. Thank you to our friends, supporters, and thank you to those who will watch this interview later as a recorded interview. Thank you to our guest composer for joining us. Apologies to everybody who was interested in following this live. We are starting a few minutes late. We have some technical issues, but without further ado, we started. I will ask the guest composer for today to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Thandeka Mfinyongo. I am from South Africa, like she said. I was born in Cape Town, yeah, in a place. I think my parents used to stay in a place called Crossroads. Funny enough, today my mom sent me my birth card because I'd asked her what time was I born for some strange reason. Don't ask me why. So
Okay.
today she sent me, and I saw that. Oh, okay. So we used to stay in Crossroads before,
Okay.
and then we moved to East in Cape Town, and yeah, I grew up there. And some time in my life, I went to the Eastern Cape to stay a little bit to where my mom is from, Engcobo, and I stayed there a few years, maybe 2, 3 years, because I was young. I can't remember. And then
Okay.
1994, I remember going to my dad's side because they had gotten married in 91. I was born a few years before.
Okay.
so yeah, I moved to stay with my dad's side in
Okay.
1994, and then in 1997 I moved back to Cape Town to stay with my parents. So I've had a bit of almost everything, like the rural, city, township.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's where I was born. And I did my school, like, primary school in a school called Linge Primary School in Nyanga East in Cape Town, and Usasazo High School in Cape Town as well. And then I did. Oh, and then there was a program that was designed by Department of Education back in Cape Town, which was called it was Early Childhood Development
Okay.
course, and I did that in 2006. And while I was studying, we were placed in schools to teach, so it was a practical thing while studying, and we do practicals until 2010. And and I taught there for 5 years, and then I taught in another daycare, if you may, grade
Okay.
R, for 1 year in 2011, and then in 2012 I just decided that I was done. I'm tired of working. And I remember my mom asking me, like, Haibo, the school has started, what's happening? Why aren't you supposed to be working? Because I didn't told her that I'd quit. And then I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm done. I'm not working there anymore. I don't know. I think I made up some story. I don't remember telling the truth. Sorry, mom. So
She's going to
yeah,
watch this.
I don't remember telling the truth.
She's going to watch
Um,
this and say, huh?
so because I just knew that I wanted to do music. It was either music or theater, because I had been doing that kind of thing, while I was working. But I was in this community theater kind of thing, and I used to love doing that a lot, even at church. You do this, we call them sketches. So I enjoyed a lot of that, and I was in a church choir. And I was just like, I want to do music. But I didn't know how or where to start. So there was a school called Ndonga in one of the communities in Guguletu, and I joined that to learn how to play guitar. And it went well. I would go there on and off, and I bought my own guitar. I have this tendency of buying instruments. I bought my own guitar, and I started practicing. And it was not easy, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do something that is not coming easy, but I knew I wanted to play.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy. And so when my teacher passed away at some point, the one was teaching me guitar. I think, I don't know if my playing also died with him or what, but I stopped playing. And I
Okay.
enrolled in 2013. Wow, this is a long story. I hope I'm not taking too much of your time. 2013, that's
No,
when
no, we
I
want to.
applied it. Yeah, that's when I applied at UCT, University of Cape Town, in
Okay.
2013,
Okay.
uh, to music. And so my first choice was music. The second choice was theater. But yeah, it was that. And then before I could go for my audition, thank God for theater, because they wanted us to write a lot of stuff, and I was like, wow, where am I going to write? Where am I going to start? I received an email from UCT that I had gotten in. I was like, bah, theater. So
Music.
I didn't go for that audition. So I
Okay.
went in 2014 UCT to do African music. I was 28 then. Yeah, so that's basically my life. And I started in UCT, and I'd never done music like at school. So that foundation wasn't there. It was just a girl with a voice, I guess, you know. So it was a bit hard. So I had to go through foundation so that they can teach me a little bit of writing and hearing music and all of those things, you know. Yeah, but then, yeah, that's when I started. I hope I'm not leaving out anything.
Let's just bring it down to present day, I suppose. I think you are in SOAS in London.
Wow, I forgot that. Okay. So
No, no,
I did
no problem.
so I did my undergrad at UCT doing African music, specializing in African music, and I graduated in 2017, and then I did what they called advanced diploma, another year added, and there I graduated 2018, and then I applied here because yeah, I don't know. I just applied, and I've always been interested in. I love string instruments. That's one thing I always knew, and I've always been interested in like playing kora, you know. And yeah, so I applied at SOAS and all those crazy things. Not sure if you're gonna be taken, do you qualify, London, and funding and all of those things. But as you can see, I'm here. It happened. So
Yes.
now I'm doing a third master's program at SOAS University of London. It's a 1 year course. I started last year on the 23rd of September. I'm specializing in Kora. So it's been, yeah, it's hard. You remember I told you in the beginning, I don't like instruments that will take long to learn, but this is really hard. It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it's quite an interesting background you have. Let's let's talk about your time at UCT. You said you were a girl with a voice, but I've also noticed in your profile that you did an advanced diploma course in African music. Before we talk
Yes.
about the African music, what do you mean by a girl with a voice? So did you go there for voice or for instruments? What exactly was it?
Well, I went in my mind. I thought like African music would incorporate that. Like the only thing I know how to do was to sing.
Oh,
So I thought like it was gonna be
sorry,
everything.
sorry. We didn't catch that. Sorry, if you can
Oh,
start again. Sorry, the network.
oh, okay. I was saying that. So at UC, so African music, the course that I applied for, I could not play anything. So I thought maybe like they would there would be voice, you know, like would be taught voice or something. And when I got there, I realized that we're going to be learning instruments as well, which was amazing, but without the voice. But I auditioned with the voice. Yeah, because I couldn't play anything. And then the instruments that I play, I learned there, which are instruments from my people, Xhosa people.
Okay,
It's Xhosa instruments that I'm learning. Yeah.
okay, okay. Um, so that's where you picked up and you decided on particular instruments to play. Have you evolved over time? Because you've talked about the number of instruments that you have, and even earlier, I think you have more than one instrument with you now. Did you evolve over time? Was it
Ooh.
difficult to leave the voice behind? And you still sing anyway, so I guess it didn't really matter
I do.
much.
I didn't really leave it, but it was just a thing of it was not part of the course,
Okay.
But obviously, with my playing and my practice, I would incorporate voice because Xhosa people are very strong with vocals historically and traditionally. We are very strong when it comes. Did I say strong? Strong in
Yes.
vocals. So
You did, and I concur. I don't think anybody's going to disagree. So go on.
so so yeah, so it goes hand in hand, the music, the bow and the voice, it goes hand in hand. Even though I didn't
Okay.
learn voice at school, I was learning instruments. I was still like singing for practical exams or tests.
Okay. I hope it's okay if somebody who does not know how to pronounce it says Kosa. That is a complete
Xhosa.
mispronunciation, isn't it?
Xhosa.
Kosa. Kosa.
Yes. Xhosa.
Kosa. Okay. Uh, that might be wrong as well, but okay. So let's talk about what you studied, because this platform is all about African composers. You went to study African music. Permit me to oversimplify this question. What is African music?
Hey, that's yeah. It's also I don't know. I don't know what African music is, but that's what it's a very complex thing to, because you would in my mind you would think that when they say African you'll find that there's everything, like in terms of instrumentation, in terms of vocal, because there's different vocal styles for each African country, so you would assume that there would be everything, in one. But I mean, that's what the course is called. We really, even learning, would learn like bits and pieces of African countries, and
Okay.
of course we didn't, yeah, we did not do every
All
country
of
or
them.
every,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. But I think for me,
Okay.
these two, these two instruments for
No,
me, they
go on.
really
Sorry.
yeah, they really spoke to me because, when you in universities, we there's always this thing that we being told that the music is dying, the music is dying, the music is dying. And that stuck with me, and I was like, okay, I want to be part of the like, I want to contribute. I want to be part of the people, or who preserve this music. I felt like I needed to do that as a young Xhosa woman. And I felt
Okay.
like I needed to. This is really what I wanted to do, and this is my part. In preserving music. I'm just gonna play these instruments, and yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting that you took it, upon yourself, and you took it as a responsibility, because you must have had quite a vast array to pick from, but you chose to take it as a responsibility. That's interesting. Um,
Yeah.
if we ask you to describe your musical style, for anyone who doesn't, who for some odd reason has not heard of you, how will you describe your style?
Um, wow. I think it's a mixture of um, it's inspired mostly by traditional music, Xhosa music. It's inspired by that. I do not know how. I was speaking to a friend, I think this week or last week. I was like, how would you describe our music when we play? Because what genre would you put it? Because there's like we world music, that's the category that we are putting. It's
Yes.
world music. And I also don't know what world also like would mean as well. But I don't know, but it's a mixture of everything. I try in my instruments to incorporate like a lot of other people. I played with a violinist, I play with guitarists, I play with pianists, just as a way to contribute, I guess, and also as a young person. Um, to This is basically my part. Traditions evolve with time, so this is my part, making
Yes.
sure that in whatever I play, my instruments are in there. Whether I play with, if one day hopefully I play with an orchestra, I will be there with my bow.
Okay.
But just way of me, doing my part in preserving the music of my people. So I
Okay.
don't
All right.
know.
So
I don't know
it's difficult
how
to,
to
yes.
describe it.
That's
Yeah.
like that's absolutely understandable. Especially because we are talking about Africa and African music. It's absolutely understandable. I suppose a lot of this has not been documented, has not been studied, recorded over time. So it's an opportunity for you, I suppose, to, name it, group it, categorize it if you want to, or let it roam free. That's really up to you now, and you are at the forefront of this. You did mention the fact that you collaborate with different musicians, instrumentalists. I've noticed that as well, carrying out research on what you do. Which instruments do you find difficult to collaborate with?
Difficult. Whew. Okay.
I mean, if anybody watches
I
the
think
videos, they can see, there's you there with your instrument, which we'll talk about. But we see the guitars, there are drums, there's voice, there's quite a variety. I mean, just thinking about how you have we say insert
put it
yourself or
together.
introduce your sound to that is really interesting to observe. But have you ever been in a position where you think, oh my God, I can't collaborate with that instrument?
No, for me, I think what I do is I bring myself. If I want to collaborate, I bring myself. I'm like this. First of all, this is how far I can go in terms of the instrument and the tuning and all of those things. Yeah. So I try to make sure that whoever that I'm going to play with, I'm not changing myself to that because they're here to come and add on to what I'm already doing. That's my aim because this is a forefront instrument in my mind, in my music. So I make sure that, listen, this is how far I can go in terms of tuning this instrument. This is how the music. So what you do is playing. I make sure that's how um, I guess I do my music or introduce my music to people. I've never had an opportunity to collaborate with someone who said I have this song and I would like you to. It's always a thing where I'm collaborating. So therefore, it's easier for me to, even though we have difficulties, you find that sometimes the notes are not the same. We are kind of in between, and then they are, accurate, with the Western tuning and all of that. I'm like, but this is where I am. This is my G sharp. This is
Okay.
my B flat. So we work around that because that's
Okay.
what the focus of my music is, the instruments.
Uh,
So that's how I.
all right.
Mhm.
So we've talked about the instruments a number of times. So, so let's. I mean, what's the name of the instrument? You mentioned the kora earlier. Is there any other one? And can we see if you're happy to show us? Because I know you
Yes,
have at least one there.
I'm a show off.
Okay,
Definitely.
good. This works then.
I'm ready. I'm ready. So this is Uadi, the god bow or calabash bow. It's a one-string instrument. So here it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this
Wadi.
Uadi. And this, don't mind the lips all over this. It's a mouth bow. It's called
Oh,
Mkhube.
Hube.
This one is Mkhube, yes.
Hube. Okay, that's interesting. I don't think I've seen that one before. Okay, sorry.
Mm, okay, I'll send you a video of me playing it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, that's interesting.
and
Um,
then Cora,
aha, okay.
and then this
Okay.
is the Cora.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for showing us the different instruments that you play. Uh, Fantastic. So we're talking to you as a composer now. Do you teach your music orally? Do you notate your music when you want to teach people? How does this work?
With when I teach them, what, like, with, you mean the band or just the people? I've never really had to. You mean the
Okay, so
band that I play with, or?
yeah, so as a composer, do you have to, because a lot of composers notate their music, they write it down using scores and sheet music and all that. It's useful for keeping a record of the music, for making sure that what people are learning from you is accurate, for example. Uh, how do you teach your music? How do you notate it? Do you write it down?
I don't use scores with my music. I don't use scores. Um, I guess we just talk. We use like notes, like when I'm teaching them. For example, if I'm teaching a band, and then I just tell them, okay, this is. I never, even when I'm writing music, I've never like used. That's why I was like, composer. And I'm like, I was scared, because I don't know if that would be composing or
I
songwriting.
see
There's a
what you
difference,
mean.
So for me, I don't. Yeah, so it was a bit of a tricky situation to give this. Even now here at school, I'm doing a course called composition, and I remember the first day I was scared. I'm like, composition. This is such a big word for me, composer, compose. And then I remember my lecturer was like, I know this word, it sounds big, but it's what we do every day. Be it you do it orally, or
Yes.
it's the thing that you do. You write music as a musician. It's there's nothing really to the word, like composer.
Okay.
And I still up to still don't understand what it means. Of course, I know according to dictionary what this other one means, or
Mhm.
but I don't use score my music. I don't.
Okay. Are you not worried then that over time
Yeah.
some of it might be presented incorrectly? Are you not worried about the music being presented accurately? Because that's one of the purposes of notating and writing down.
Mm. I never really thought that far. I think that with technology, first of all, I mean, if for example, when I record a song in a studio, that song, it will be different than when I'm doing it live, right? But there will always be that original way that I wrote the song or I sang the song in the like on, I mean, we have technology now, digital stuff, but I guess it's something that I need to really look into now. But I've never really worried about that. But all I know is that I want my I wouldn't want my music to be tampered with, or someone coming, with and doing other things with my music. But
Yes.
like I say, with technology, at least we are able, like now, this platform that we're having, if I decide to do a song or whatever now, this will be kept for generations to come,
Absolutely.
unlike
Yes.
before, people, yeah, people who came to our like traditionally to our villages or our people, they came and recorded music and left. They didn't leave anything for our people, and we see these recordings everywhere, but our people don't know that, oh wow, I'm somewhere in, I don't want to mention names, or in some library somewhere, but I
Yes.
don't
Yes.
remember. Like, no one told me they were recording. No one told me that this is the kind of work my voice or my music has done, And so the music was stolen in that sense. But now I feel like with like I said, with technology and all of those things, and this now I'll have to look into and start thinking about it, how, I
Okay.
would, yeah, go about, yeah.
Okay. Let's look at your study at SOAS. I mean, it's quite a well-known a place to study, a well-known university. How How is everything going there? I mean, do you feel as if you are in a unique position compared to your contemporaries, your classmates? And you said you are studying a taught master's. I'm just wondering. It sounds to me as if you are the one who is doing the teaching, having come with something so unique. I mean,
No,
you've come with the knowledge, you've come with the style. So I'm not really sure what is being taught. I'm not playing down your
yeah.
degree,
Well,
absolutely, but I'm somebody who believes in what Africa has to offer. So that's what I'm saying, not that, what are you studying? You see what I mean?
yes. Okay. So I think, wow, that's a really big one. You really giving me stuff to think about. But let's start with Taught Masters. So basically, so we know it's School of Oriental and African Studies, SOS,
Yes.
and so it's not like your, I guess, normal master's ways. You kind of specialize or do one module or one course. We've been
Okay.
taught like other things. So
Okay.
yeah, we being taught like a lot like of other modules or other courses. So that's
Ah,
why that's what they mean by taught masters, going to class and doing all those things. And like, masters where sometimes you just do it at home, So I think that's what they mean. And being here has whew, yeah, it's been a ride. Yeah, it's been a ride. And ooh, a very interesting one, because I don't know. I've learned a lot from everything that has been taught, and especially the one thing that I'm interested in. Like I feel like I'm really like getting because I'm being taught first of all by master of the Kora, like he knows what he's doing, so which is like a blessing. And then like the courses, then yes, the courses that I'm taking, I take it. Yeah, are taught by people who've specialized in different fields. So, but I'm just grateful that with the Kora, it's the person that is teaching is like they know the whole tradition, and
Okay.
he's amazing. Like, yeah, so that's what I've learned, and adding to the knowledge that I already have, and yeah, it's been a very interesting and not easy journey so far. But yeah, I'm just grateful that I got this opportunity to study there.
Okay, it's interesting to hear that you are studying with a master kora player. So I guess that also addresses the question and the concern about who is more qualified, you or the people who are teaching you. But if you are playing and learning from a master kora player, that settles it. Has any conversation ever come up about the griots? Because I think there is this culture of saying that the kora players they are is from a particular family in Senegal and then there's Mali. I'm talking about different African countries now. Has anything come up, in conversation where someone said you shouldn't be playing the kora? You're not from that family. You're not from that country. Has that ever come up?
No, no, no one. It will come up. I think because we're in interesting time. I think before, because historically, it was people from from Griot or Jail. They call them Jailies. Yes, it was them that were able to play kora, and also men. So it was,
Yes.
historically and traditionally, it was male that was, yeah. But with Oadi as well, there's also women used to play Oadi, married women used to play, So I think with the traditions changing and all of those things, no one has come up and told me, oh God, I would run if someone were to tell me that. So no one has. I've not experienced.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, I mean, how does it feel to you as a performer and a composer? Do you ever feel that you are in a peculiar situation because of the kinds of instruments you compose for? Because some may, and we had a brief chat earlier before this interview about it not being classical, not being seen as classical music, but you seem pretty confident and you want to push your instrument to the forefront. You said if you were perhaps with an orchestra, you like to be right there in at the forefront, performing, promoting your instruments, the stories you have to tell. So you don't feel any sense of, you don't have any worry at all with the kinds of instruments you've chosen to perform.
I am worried because oh, sorry. I'm worried about because it's first of all, it's not your mainstream. First of all, kind of music that I play where it can easily be played on radio. That's the first worry. It's really just breaking boundaries and just saying, okay, we here, and it worries me sometimes that, oh my God. Of course, I see myself, being on this big stage. I'm talking orchestra and all of those. But when I'm sitting here, I'm like, how is this, because it's so difficult. There's certain music that is meant for airplay. There's certain music that people are used to,
Used to,
So,
okay.
um, yeah. So it worries me in that sense. But I think knowing that I'm doing the right thing and what my heart wants to do, it's I think it's what keeps me wanting to do it and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why um because it's not just instruments that I'm pushing, but also the history, the traditions and the like of our people, and making sure that the voice that we have as Black people, it stays like in the forefront. We stay having that voice through our music, So yeah, so there is that worry.
Okay, all right. And one of the people watching us has just sent a message. I think it's she, Sonia. She says, "I love that you are pushing boundaries." So I suppose that's some encouragement for you from our viewers and people watching us.
Oh,
All
thank
right.
you.
So I'm going to play one of your compositions, and I think you performed in it. It's about 5 minutes long, if I remember. So we'll take a break, listen to that composition, and then we'll come back and resume the interview, if that's okay.
Which one is it?
Okay, let's see. Oh, I don't think I know what the name is. Let's see. Give me a second to quickly check, and I'll probably spell it if I can't. Oh, continual. No, that's not it. You know what I'm talking about? No, curated by Misaki. It's a performance of you, but the interesting thing is it doesn't give the name. I will allow you to listen to it. Obviously, you'll recognize it. So,
okay, if it's my composition.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, first of all, feel free to tell us the name of that composition, please.
Sorry?
I said, feel free to tell us the name of the composition.
Oh yes. Okay, so it's called Uveni, and it's not mine. It's a song. I don't know if I mentioned Matosini, but it's her. I heard the song from her, Matosini. Matosini is a legendary ball player. Yeah, so I've had the opportunity to spend time with her and play with her, and so yeah, this song I first heard from her when I visited her, and I was like, yeah, I need to. Obviously, she just plays with the bow, and the way she plays it is quite amazing. But I tried to do my best, with the song. Yeah, so basically, you want me to tell what it's about?
Absolutely, yes. Start with the name, please, of
So
the song, and then tell us the
it's
story.
called Uveni. So Uveni, what have you
Really?
heard?
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So basically, it's about a newly wedded person. She just got married to this family. You know how our music tells stories and comments in social issues. So she just got married into this family, and now is starting to hear things about the family that the husband didn't tell her about, and she's now starting to be restless and is wondering what is happening. And so one person, let's say the mother-in-law or someone who's already been married in that family, is asking her, Makoti is the newly wedded wife, Makoti, why are you so restless? Why are you why are you so restless? What have you heard? What have you heard? And so they constantly asking her, what have you heard? What have you heard, Makoti? Why are you restless?
Mm.
So obviously she doesn't tell them what she has heard. But yeah, so it's that kind of a dynamic. It happens a lot with yeah, in our tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it would
Yeah.
have been. I mean, was that an arrangement by you, or was that exactly the way she performs it? Did you arrange this for your own
Yeah.
performance?
This for my own performance, yes. Yeah.
So it was your arrangement, okay. And you brought in
Yes.
quite a few
Yes.
elements. You brought in quite a few elements. So apart from just singing, you had the people who were responding next to you, so the other singers next to you, and there were some sounds as well that were being made.
Vocal.
We have similar sounds in West Africa, especially in Nigeria, where I'm from. So I know this for a fact. We sometimes call it the Gouda sound. Do
Sure.
do you know what I'm talking about in terms of the sounds, not to do with singing, but more of like a cry within the singing as well?
So you're cutting, so I'm gonna try and answer what I think you're asking.
Okay.
So yes. So it's a call and response that's happening, which is a big I guess in our music it's a big what is the word? It's part of it. Call and response, call and response.
Mhm.
So I'm calling and then they respond me, "Uveni,
Okay.
so it's like a call and response. And then in terms of instruments, as you heard, like the piano, this guy, he's a jazz pianist, so I played with him. And then I have in percussions, I have Zama, who plays is what we call is badlama, and so it's one of your traditional instruments. So yeah, going back to that, like yeah, so I don't have I don't incorporate drums in my music, the drums that the drum kit,
Yeah.
I make sure that
Okay.
it's just to ground this, that just to yeah to ground the sound. I make sure that it's like your traditional percussions, so just to give it that grounded thing. And also because the instrument I'm playing is very delicate, so yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I would like, yeah,
But there
so
was
basically that's what I
sorry.
blended.
Okay. And if you can also
Yes.
answer the question about, I know you probably didn't hear me because of the network, but there was a cry within the music as you were singing. You could hear somebody making a sound, something like that. Who was making that sound? What is it
Because
called?
yeah, they
That's
were
it. Yeah. That's the sound.
you is it ululating? Ululating or I don't know English, but
Yes.
the
Yeah.
way it's
Exactly.
like
That is
when some
it.
yes,
In English,
yes.
that's the word.
So
Yes.
when you yes, when some I mean it happens when someone is being touched by the music. And because my music, I guess it resonates with a lot of people, like even if you've not really, like as Xhosa people, like young people, maybe we're not taught about traditions and all of those things, but once you hear that gets familiar to your heart
Yes.
or to your soul, when
Yes.
that person started doing that, was feeling it, I guess.
I can
She was
confirm
feeling
that
the
that
music,
happened.
and
Yes, yes.
so
If yes, there are those who maybe were not brought up in that style, but it comes naturally to them when they hear music that moves them. They just make that sound. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. So,
yeah.
um, let's talk about your inspirations because there is a video made
Mhm.
about you online, a short biography, like a video biography, and you delved into your inspirations there. Can you tell us about what inspires you in your music? I thought that was a very interesting video, and it would be wonderful if you can share with our audience today your inspirations.
I basically, my inspiration is like I said, traditional old people, older generation, like people who when you sing or you do or you say something that is not popular, or doing something that is not that is, people are running away from doing. So I'm inspired, like the likes of Miriam Makeba. She's my inspiration. We know what she stood for, and the kind of music that the message that she was saying. Umama Dosini, like I said, she's my ultimate. She's the most, yeah, she's my inspiration, and it's very nice to look up to someone like that, like someone know that you can spend time with, and then like you can drink from, as a young person. So she inspires me. Internationally, Nina Simone is the same. Naya, she spoke, when, yeah, like on these issues that were not so, I guess, popular, or yeah, in especially in their times. So as a young black woman, I know I say black a lot, but it's very important that I do. um,
Okay.
as a young black person, yeah, it gives me, I guess they give me wings to really to continue doing what I'm doing, and to stand for what I believe in, in these times of, what's happening in the world. But they're giving me those wings. If they could do it then in those scary times, those difficult times, so can I in these times, so it's just the voice that they give me, I guess, to stand for what I believe in. And everything around me inspires me. I'm probably going to write about this day when I get off.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not promising. I'm not promising that.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Okay, so anything and everything, and also you've got past figures that you look up to and that inspire you. That's absolutely brilliant. Yes, you are right. I've noticed the reference to yourself, referring to yourself as a black person, but again, individuals can refer to themselves as they choose to. Um, you talked about in that video something about the bow, the string, and African history, and wanting to tell that story. Um, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because you seem to be quite tied to this bow instrument. It was quite a moving video to watch. A very short
Please,
video, but very moving.
please ask again. I did not hear the first.
Okay, you talked about the bow instrument in relation to Africa and history. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, I think I said this like in the beginning about people coming to record music in Africa and not giving credit to the people that they've recorded. It's great, it's there. We can access it somehow, you know. But our people were never accredited, and our history, most of the history that we have was not really recorded, maybe in a way that we would have loved to for it to be recorded and stuff. So for me, the bow is not, like I said, that it's, the bow is not just an instrument, but it carries that history, it carries my people. And this is basically me doing a little bit of my part, which is I'm starting from where I'm coming from, which is South Africa, which is I'm of the Xhosa people. So this is my part of, I guess, telling those stories, you know, telling those stories through my music, and really like I guess flying the flag of where I come from, and who I am, and that my people, they hear, they exist, you know, and this is what we have historically. This is what my music stands for. So that's basically the idea behind that, you know. I hope I'm answering you
Yes.
correctly.
Yes, yes. Do you sometimes think it is too much for one person to carry?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes think that that load is too much for one person to carry? This responsibility is too much for you to carry.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying it, but it's really, that's me saying my part. I keep saying my part because I
Okay.
know how big of a part it is, how big of a pie it is. So I always say my
Okay.
part, because I can never, even if I wanted to, like to carry the whole load. But I, this is me playing my part all the time. It's my part, because it's very important that I do that, and do my part and then pass it on. Hopefully someone else is going to take the, what is the word, the baton, they're going to take and then run with it, and like I've taken off and running with it, you know. So
Okay.
I can't do it on my own. So yeah, it's me playing my
Okay.
part.
Okay. How are you managing during the lockdown with coronavirus? Are you okay?
Hey, sheesh, don't mention this corona. Wow, I'm alive. I'm okay, but it gets to me sometimes because I'm far from home, you know, and I know the struggles of home. So more than anything, it's not me being not being safe, but it's more thinking about home, how, what they're going through, are they managing, you know what I mean? And just worrying and knowing that my parents, you know, my mom is diabetic and stuff, and you know these things, it can easily like catch something. So it's worrying about home, because
Oh,
I'm fine, I guess. I'm being safe, I'm indoors, I'm trying to do everything that we're told to do. But it's just that anxiety of knowing that I'm here and they're there, and knowing, you know, what's happening. But yeah, that's
okay.
the truth.
All right. We stay
Yeah.
hopeful. We stay hopeful and we stay positive as much
They-
as we can.
yeah.
Okay. We have to bring the interview to a close. Do you have any? Do
No,
you
no,
have?
no.
We've gone over our 45 minutes by more than 3 minutes. Do you have any suggestions, pieces of advice, nuggets of wisdom for up and coming instrumentalists, musicians, composers from Africa that you'd like to share with them? And I mean, future projects from you. What do we have to look forward to? What are you working on? Sorry, two questions in one, and then we finish.
True. Okay, I always say to people that if there's nothing that is nice or beautiful than having a conviction. If you are convicted in your heart of hearts that this is what you want to do, nothing's going to stop you from getting there. I know there will be things that will try and stop you, the genre of music, money not coming in, you know, all of those things. They will definitely try and hinder you. But if you know in your heart of hearts why you're doing it and what is it that you're trying to say or do with your music, then that should be a thing that keeps you going. And don't give up on your dream. I know it's a thing that people always say, don't give up on your dreams, but really don't give up on your dreams. It's your dream. It's not anybody's dream.
Okay.
And you're the one that has to nurture it and make sure that your dream reaches where it needs to be. Of course, like I know that God will assign, what if this is a conviction, then there has to be a provision on the way. You know what I mean? For your dream, you will meet people that will connect to your dream, to your vision. You will meet them, and you will also meet people who will not connect to dream. That must not stop you. Second question: what am I
Yeah.
what am I
On,
working
yeah.
on? Hey, I am just working on getting my master's degree. That's what I'm working towards
That's
right
good.
now.
That's enough. Believe me, that takes up a lot of time.
So I don't have anything lined up yet, but I'm looking forward to doing projects, when we're done. Before I leave to at least play in, some places. I played at the embassy, South African embassy's event last year, which was amazing. I would like to, play, in other places and collaborate with other musicians as well.
Okay. Oh, it's been interesting talking to you today, finding out more about you and your music, your inspirations, future projects, what you've done in the past, and getting advice from you for other African composers and Africans generally. So, and well, everybody basically, because that advice applies to everyone. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much to everybody who is watching us live. Thank you to those who will watch this video as a recorded video. More and more comments are still coming in for you. I don't know if you can see them on the screen, but yeah, it's been brilliant and interesting. Thank you so much for your friends, your fans, people who are interested in your work are still commenting and saying hello and sending in positive messages. But yes, thanks a lot for your time. As I said before, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope to be able to follow up on your work and keep up with what you are doing, and wish you the very best in your future endeavors. Thank you again for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.